My name is Kimball Hooker from the Bay Area. And the sounds of the guitar come in. I love it. Nothing better than to make somebody smile, especially through music. I just like to be a part of it. I never forget some of the people that I met. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say today is such a beautiful day, and I'm looking outside right now and all I see is the birds chirping and they sound just like music. It's a beautiful day. I'm Kimball Hooker. Welcome to the KIMBALL HOOKER SHOw. I have a special guest today that is unprecedented. I mean, his history is long. We might have to do a part 2. I'm just telling you right now, so brief yourself. He's smiling. He's in good shape. He looks good, smells good. Hey, I'm gonna set the stage, man. I'm gonna do what you don't. You know what I like about him the most? This man's record is so long, but he's so humble, right? And that's something you don't find in a lot of musicians today. It's just, you don't see that, you know? So there's a lot of talented people, but I want to dig in on this real quick. The family legacy, Mr. Juan Escovedo.
What's up, Kimball?
Yeah, man. It's been a minute, brother. How you feeling?
I'm really good. I'm doing great.
All right. I'm digging that hat too now.
49ers.
Come on, man. We Bay.
I'm from Oakland, but because my father grew up loving the 49ers, we actually lived in a duplex. So when I was younger, the guy upstairs was a Raider fan, and my father was downstairs. So when the both teams play, and then the Raiders make a touchdown, you hear him stomping on it, And then when the Niners make a touchdown, my father had a broom and just bam, bam, bam.
Oh, 49ers. Was going at it,
all the time. But it was fun. It was
right. That's cool, man. Humble beginnings. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about how you got started, man. I mean, I don't want to go because I know it's, like I said, it's gonna be long with you because it's a family business, man.
Right.
But just to touch on it, talk to the people, man. Let us in on the secret sauce, like what happened in the early days, man.
Well, my father, played music when he was 18, I believe, and doing artwork, paintings and stuff. But in the front room, he had, the congas, timbales. My mother actually played a little bit of piano for a long time. So there was a piano in the house, and we all learned piano. We had an old lady coming in teaching us how to play, piano and stuff. But anyway, so there was always instruments in the front room.
Okay.
So my father, people come in town, jamming, they would come and sit in and play. And then eventually my brother and my sister, we started jamming and playing and stuff. And then we just started learning a little bit about every instrument. So when we got a little better, around 13 or 14, we put our own band together. And then when we started taking it seriously, that's when the adults or great musicians will say, well, this is the correct way of playing. Because we heard it one way and we're watching. So we're just playing what we hear. So once we started learning the proper way of playing, then we started developing a better knowledge and playing, sounding better on their instruments.
Okay. Tell me some of the people that stopped by your house, man.
A couple. Okay, like Santana, Carlos Santana used to come over. He was 17, I think, or 18. And then he used to jam with us and stuff. And Cal Jader, Tito Puente, Poncho Sanchez, and then a Prince came over.
Man, I'd love to be a fly in your house. Just to fly, just to buzz around.
Well, it was funny when this is before, I think his CD just came out in Minneapolis. So he wasn't famous yet. So he came over. All these musicians always coming over, have different names and stuff they make up or whatever. So I thought he made it up. He's coming in. And Sheila goes, yeah, this is Prince. He didn't look like no Prince to me because he had, back then the tour T-shirts and, the torn jeans are back. But back then when he was 17, so I didn't think a Prince would dress with holy pants and all this stuff. Like that.
Right.
And I said, that ain't your name, man. I'm just laughing, right? You ain't no Prince. And he goes, no, Prince. That's my real name. I said, all right, whatever. Come on in. And then he started playing. and he got on everything, and he was just jamming. I'm like, this dude is bad.
He was a real deal. Did you know right off the bat he was a real deal?
When I heard him play, yeah, you could tell that he knew his music. And then when he came back, remember Circle Star?
Of course, Circle Star Theater.
Yeah, so he opened up
San
for
Carlos.
Rick James.
Wow.
So that was when I saw him play. I said, with his band, I said, oh, this dude is amazing. Yeah. He was slamming. Yeah.
Wow. He was signed or unsigned?
He was signed then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his first CD.
Soft and Wet. What was that?
Shoot. The one, what was it? What he had, the afro?
That might not have been Soft and Wet. We can Google that.
Yeah.
For all y'all want to know, we can Google that. All right, cool, man. So it sounded like you had like some early stage humble beginnings. That was cool. Family time, playing, learning different instruments. And then you had some executives coming by. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
You know, and then so from there, you know, it grew into like, you know, you're like musicians. How did you know when you're like, you know what, I want to do this, like for real?
Well, I think for sure we always loved music. And then when I was playing together with my sister and brother, we didn't take it so seriously because it was just fun, and it was always in the house. So we didn't look at it as work or a job. We still don't, but it is.
Right.
They'll have to tell them promoters, this is work. You got to pay me. No. So yeah, we just, I think when we started, when we had the first band, you know, you just play with people in the front room, family, Christmas stuff, other gatherings. Yeah. Family. And then they're like, yeah, can you play at my house? And we're doing houses and stuff, backyards. And then when people started hiring us and paying us, you know, some money, then we said, well, this is a job now. We got to take this more seriously. So that's when we're like 14, 15.
Got it. Okay.
And then I played at the high school, Oakland High, when I went to Oakland High.
Okay.
So that's when I put my first band together.
What was the name of that band? Juan
Escovedo, I think it was. I just used my name.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a salsa band, Latin band, and then we started going on individual ways of playing and stuff. So yeah, we just kept doing it.
What kind of style, like, did you feel a style, or were you just playing just to play, or did you feel like a genre inside of you?
It depends. Like the thing, being from Oakland, there's so many different types of music and bands, like
Tower Power.
Man, it's like Sliding Family Stone. Like you said, Santana, Journey. We can go wherever.
Right.
Hammer, and I toured with him. So it's like variety of musicians and playing, and that's what, when I teach music and percussion, like there's some musicians that just play salsa music or just R&B. If you don't over to different variety of music, you're going to be stuck in that genre, and you don't want to be stuck. If you want to continue working, you got to open up your mind and the way you play, listen to all different type of musicians and music, and that's what we did. So we love the Osmonds to Michael Jackson.
So you're a fan of the music. You study the music.
Love music. It doesn't matter
the genre.
It doesn't matter at all. As long you could tell a good musician.
Yeah.
When they feeling it, you feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's great musicians in Oakland that just, you know, pouring their heart out and is playing so good, and then it changes each generation. It starts to change the way they play and stuff. But I love going and support and seeing local bands and stuff. Right.
So you don't like to categorize yourself like you're a Latin musician, percussionist, or nothing like that. Right.
Because I play rap, R&B, cumbias, rancheras, salsa, Latin. Rock and roll, it doesn't matter.
Right. You ain't gonna get lost on the stage. Well, you know, being well-rounded always helps out too, because you never know who you're gonna be playing with.
That's true.
You know, so you get called for Journey, something like that. Well, you know, that's more
That'd
rock.
Be nice.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? That's different. That would be different for you.
It would be.
But see, I trust you on that stage, so I can turn you loose and just be like, have at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And then what's the trip is like, people say, well, learn this pattern. Yeah, you have to learn patterns and names of different rhythms. But to me, when I get on stage, I really listen to the drummer and bass,
right?
The rhythm
section.
And I don't want to step on the drummer's chops, because he's a foundation to me of the song, that their rolls, they set up stuff. I'm the icing on the cake. So like I played with you before, and I know how you play. So some people play a lot of snare, a lot of hi-hat, busy. So I'm staying out your way.
Right.
I want it to flow with your rhythm.
Right.
So I'm listening, and some drummers are just straight and clean.
Right.
So that gives me more time to fill in the gaps, more flavor. So I try to do that. So I study and watch the drummers and how the drummer lock in with the bass player.
I like that, man, because you know what? A lot of times people don't study. They don't do their homework, I'll call it. They don't do their homework, right? They set up and they got a nice looking, and this is the worst, right? When they have nice gear and can't play it.
Right.
You know, they got a $5,000 percussion setup, cymbals and hi-hat stands, and, you know, they got everything set up.
When you see some tore up drums, he's been around.
He's been around, huh?
The scratches and everything. You know, he's been around.
You are, especially if he playing with somebody,
right?
And his set ain't all that,
right?
Yeah, you know, you gonna have a good time,
right? That's
you know
true.
that.
That's true.
But no, man, I love the fact that you're pushing out to the people, and you know, like your background is like you do your homework,
right?
You know, and you're not afraid to say, let me learn the set, let me learn what I'm gonna do, and not go into this blind.
No,
you know, you want to make sure that you're gonna deliver the best, your best,
right? Right.
I love that. So in terms of like, this is a Kimball question. I just have to ask because, you know, I'm a drummer.
Yeah.
As far as rudiments are concerned, are there percussion rudiments?
Oh, yes.
Really? Is it the same as like trap, snare, drum? Is it the same?
Pretty close.
Okay.
What you do on your sticks, we should be able to play on our hands, with our hands.
Okay.
Doubles, triplets.
Really?
All that. Yes.
Wow.
But it wasn't like that before. A long time ago, they just played open tone slaps and just straight ahead rhythms. They didn't do doubles and triplets on their palm and tip of their finger.
Right.
So that came in later.
You know why I asked that? Because drummers typically don't play with the palm of their hand, and you know, the roll with their fingers. They don't do all that. It's stick oriented.
Right.
And so when I think of doing rudiments, I think of the tip of the sticks, pretty much. Right. Okay, but when I think of, you see the taped up fingers with the, you know, on the congas and stuff like that. It's different. I used
to do that too.
They play with the hands wrapped, you know, for the most part. And so it's different. So that's why I asked about the rudiments. I wasn't really sure.
Yeah, there's doubles, triples you can do on one hand.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's good to warm up and do that before you play, and relax your shoulders, your elbows and stuff. And it's people don't realize too that how you set up the conga, if it's high or low. If to me, I used to play, Sheila plays like this, with the congas really down low. And to me, you're pushing down on your hands, as opposed to me, I put the congas on, they laugh at me because it's almost like on my shoulders. It's up.
It's raised, okay.
Yeah, it's raised because I relax my shoulder and I let the weight of my hand and shoulder hit the drum. To me, it's easier.
It's easier that way for you.
For me.
Got it.
And I play her congas sometimes. She set up one way, and I'll start to play them. I'm like, how do you play like this?
Right.
And then when she plays and sitting in, if I'm playing, my drums are high. She goes, how do you play like this? I'm like, this is so much easier.
So coming from behind her, sitting the way she has her set up, it's uncomfortable for you.
Oh, very uncomfortable.
To play on her set.
You can't show it. You got to act like, you know, you've been doing it for years this way.
Right.
Just like drums. And you set up differently. The snare's high or low. It's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable.
Because you're used to being the way your setup is.
Right. That's amazing, man, that you guys all can like just sit down and play. I've watched so many of your shows, man, where you guys are just, and I say you guys, it's almost like I'm talking to you, but when I'm thinking about the family.
Yeah, and we are one.
You are one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Peter Michael, man, just like rip some drums, boy.
Oh, yeah, he's bad. Yeah, amazing drummer.
I have to say this, you know. I think I was at, he's done so many shows, you wouldn't even remember, but I was at this one show at, it was in a park in Campbell, and it was an outdoor event. I forget the name of the park. And this is the very first time, and I had seen him 2 or 3 other times before, but this is the very first time he was acting a fool on the He really was. I was like, oh my God.
He must have got some rest that day.
He got some rest that day. And I couldn't believe it. He took his shirt off, not off, but he opened his shirt and he loosened up the top.
Right.
And he was going so hard. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I didn't know he had it like that.
Right.
Because most of the time he pocket and everybody else kind of,
we actually have to push him to solo.
I've never seen that man solo like that.
Oh, he's bad.
He's a bad boy. I just had to put that out there like that because I'm a big fan, and I love all the instruments. Don't get me wrong. I love the brass, the wind, the guitars, the strings. I love all of it, but I am a drummer.
Right. I get that.
Yeah, and so until the drums play, it's like, oh, it's cool.
Right.
and I always say, you ain't no better than your rhythm section, your drums, your rhythm, your bass, and you're no better than that.
That's true.
If that's sloppy, you in trouble.
That's true.
And
that's why you hire the best musicians. And that's the thing, like when we hire band members, we already known them pretty much for a while.
Right.
And we've seen them play. We know who they are. But it's not just how great they are, it's their personality.
Right.
Are they going to come on time? Are they going to be dressed? Are they going to have excuses why they're not there?
Rehearsal, all that.
Yeah, you got to be committed and know, like I said, it's a job. It can be very fun.
Right.
I mean, but you can forget that, if you start coming late and not doing your job, you're not going to get that call again.
Right. You're going to be replaced too.
That quick.
Tell me some of the best, situations you've been in, like some of the best, like concerts and some of the memorable, concerts and shows that you remember.
Well, the biggest thing I remember when Prince did Purple Rain, the movie. So we were on that first tour.
Right.
Purple Rain tour. And Sheila just did Glamorous Life. So we're opening up. This is our first CD, and we're opening up for Prince. Like, that was crazy. So we went to New Orleans and we did, I think it was 80,000 people or 100,000 people. And the stage is like 3 blocks long. It was unbelievable. And then you look down at the people and it's just nothing but heads. And it's so many people. I'm going, this is crazy. But people always ask me too, like, do you get nervous when it's that many people? I'm like, no, I get nervous when there's 10.
Because they can really see you.
Because they right there looking at you, staring at you. When there's 100,000, you could just look straight and play, and it doesn't make me nervous.
Right.
But it's the intimate, like Yoshi's.
Right.
But,
it's intimate.
Intimate.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of these people, family coming, cousins, auntie, uncle.
Spotlight's
uncles,
on you.
Right on you.
Yeah.
So they can hear every mistake if you mess up, and they looking at you. Like,
but when you make a mistake, what do we do?
We keep going, keep playing.
Right.
Yeah,
that's it.
And now, but like before, I like used to get on me about if I messed up, go backstage. Man, I got to work on that. But now, if it happens, I'm like, it's still fun. It's all good. I'm not perfect.
Right.
We're gonna make mistakes, and it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So this many years in the game, you said you still make mistakes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So what happens is, how do you recover from something like that?
Well, depends on how big the mistake was.
That's true.
If there's a break and I'm playing over it, that's pretty bad. That really hurts, because the thing is, you don't want to be so noticeable, like, you're messing up on a break. So I really study breaks. So that I usually don't mess up on. But if I'm playing something and there's a groove and I might have threw a lick in when the vocal is coming in, I shouldn't have threw a lick. That's, it's a minor thing, but to me, it bothers me if I'm interfering in somebody else's work. Like the flow is happening. And that's why I'm always watching the drummer, because sometimes I'll start a lick and I see him start to go, I stop, I get out of it. So let him do his feel, because you don't want sloppiness on the setup for songs, verses, choruses, and the bridge.
Makes sense.
So I'm always watching to see where the drummer is going to play his lick. And if sometimes I'm in motion and he's starting to go, I just stop. I go right to the groove. I let him feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you like to be set up next to the drummer?
Yes. Love it.
Right.
And the bass player.
And the bass player, right there. The rhythm section.
That locks in. Yes.
Keep it
so
tight.
When they push me in the front, sometimes I'm like, I want to be back here. Like, I love it.
Right.
But, in the front is cool too. But you just have to really pay attention more.
Right.
Being in front, because you're also entertaining the audience.
That's true. Can't forget that.
You got to make sure they're enjoying themselves. You're doing your thing. You're on point, and you're feeding off the audience. You know, when you see them laughing and having fun and dancing, man, it makes me play better, harder.
Do you play off of the feedback from the audience?
Yes, and sometimes the crowd is kind of laid back.
Yeah,
and you're starting to work. You work harder because you're not getting nothing from them, which is rare.
Right.
But these days, which is good.
Right.
But in the beginning, oh man, you're like, people just walking by you and just trying to play your heart out. That's hard. But
you know, I want to mention something. You know who I think is a master at, you know, playing off the crowd and just making it look fun and having just a great Pops.
Oh, Pops is great at that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, he should be teaching classes on how to but how do you do that? It's natural for him.
It's natural for him.
He play with the crowd and make them laugh, have fun. He know what to say, the ins and outs. Talk on that.
Yeah. My father, he's 86 now. Still doing
that's
it.
amazing.
And he has a new CD that just came out.
Yeah.
So called Rhythm and Night. So he knows what works. If you don't know what works and don't by 86, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
But there's some jokes he says that don't go over very good. And we have to tell him backstage, Pops, did you see the audience not laugh? Nah, man, it was funny. He thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So we say, no, you got to get rid of that one. So it's just years of doing it. And sometimes things that work in one city doesn't work in the next one.
Or it might work for him, don't work for you.
Right.
But
so you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But at his age, he's not tripping.
Right.
He's like, I'm good.
It's part of the process.
It is.
Yeah. But you had such great mentors, man. Who are some of the people that you grew up like? You're like people that you admired playing or watching. You know.
Well, like David Garibaldi is like
amazing. Tower Power.
The man to me. James Levi that played with the Whispers.
Yeah.
He used to come over and he taught us some stuff. On drums, Billy Cobham used to come over. Me? Yeah.
Wow.
He showed Sheila the road where you start on your snare and go around the drums, the toms.
Yeah.
He had her come back around, and we never seen that. We're like 13 or 14. Yeah. So he went brrr, brrr, came back around, and we're like, how do you come back? You know,
because you only see one way.
One way.
Yeah.
And so that Sheila took that and she uses that today. So there's things that you learn from. It could be one roll, one little lick, and you could use it forever.
Yeah.
You know, if you work on it or love it. But and then also Bill Summers.
Yeah. From
Summer Heat.
Yeah.
He was in the Bay Area. He lived down the street. He showed us how to play binimbau, shekere, some bata drums. We didn't know nothing about that in Oakland on 9th Ave.
Yeah.
We didn't know nothing about that stuff. And then he did Roots. Right?
Really?
All that African, all that drumming, Bill Summers did all that music for Roots.
I didn't know that.
Way back in the day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What about some Billy Cobb or Chambers?
Yeah,
Dennis Chambers.
Yeah, he's baddest. I respect him. But we never hung out with him.
Really?
Never. I know, you would think
he's
so.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a bad player.
Yeah. So all of that, those are some of the people that you admire growing up and playing and things like that. But how is it when you notice things are starting to pick up in terms of like people wanting you to play on a more bigger stage, bigger platform, and like you see the name kind of like wow, we're recognized. You know what I mean? Like we're in Oakland, but our Escovedo name is starting to like take place. How does that happen?
Well, it started actually when my father was in Santana. And we're living on 9th Ave, East 21st in Oakland. And I think it was I was going to St. Elizabeth in Oakland. And my father came home in a stretch limo. And I'm like, I ain't never seen no stretch limo. And he came out and I said, and I'm yelling, we made it.
Oh, give me your age. We made it.
I was like, let me see. I was 13, 14. I'm like, we're rich. Spot's coming home in a limo.
Right.
Like, we rolling out. And he goes, nah, this ain't my limo. He's like, Santana took care of this or whatever.
Right.
So, you just never seen that coming down in Oakland.
Right.
I didn't.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm like, man, we rolling now. Pa said, no. we still struggling. This is a rent-a-car.
That is funny, man. I love stories like that, man, because those are humble beginnings. You know what I mean? You still figuring it out.
Right.
You know what I noticed about back in the day too, is sometimes because it's your normal, regular life, you don't know how special it is.
Right. That's true.
You get older and you go, wow, things are so different. Kids don't even play in the street no more.
Right. Because it's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
And you could get, hit by a car, and we have COVID. So many things didn't happen back in the day.
That's true. That's true.
But
everybody in the neighborhood will watch you, not just your parents.
Right.
The neighbor, and 2 blocks, 3 blocks down the road, they still knew your name.
Right?
Right. You can go down to the liquor store or 7-Eleven or whatever.
Right.
And go down the street, and they're like, hey, you're supposed to be in school, or where are your parents?
Right.
They come out and talk to you.
Right.
Now you don't even know your neighbor. They drive up, I'm trying to wave at people. They're like, they pulling in, go in the house.
That's crazy. And they don't even know you. And they your neighbors.
Been there for years.
Don't know you. People don't talk no more like that.
Yeah.
So let's kind of fast forward a little bit. Talk to us about some projects you have going on right now. What do you have like right now that people can actually look forward to? Maybe some projects that you have either online or anything like that. Are you promoting any CDs or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, this is my first solo CD that I'm doing. It'll be out in about 2 weeks. And I'll be at Yoshi's promoting it.
All right.
And the video will be out. So I have El DeBarge singing on there. Yeah. And
I know that's right.
That's my brother, man.
Yeah.
Every time he comes to Oakland and play at Yoshi's, I just set up my drums. He's like, whenever I'm in town, this is how close we are. Before it's like, he'll call me and hire me, but now he's like, Juan, wherever you see my name, you set up them drums and I got you.
Y'all brothers. Yeah.
Like that. I come in. So when I first did that, I'm like, man, is he gonna be tripping? Like, what are you doing here with them congas up there?
Right.
So he goes, Juan, I was hoping you was here. So anyway, we're that close. So he's on the CD, and Martin Kemper, lead singer for Color Me Bad.
Okay.
He's singing on the video. I got and I recorded in LA at Raphael Sadiq's studio.
Oh,
so
wow.
He ended up Tony. And then he was in the studio walking around, and I said, Ray, you want to play on one of the songs? He goes, heck yeah. So he sat down, played on one of the songs. And then we're going to work on the next song. He goes, can I play on the next one? I'm like, I ain't going to tell him no. So yeah, he's on 2 songs. But I have him on there. And all these great musicians. And my sister Sheila played on a few tracks, and my brother played drums on some. And Oscar Kataya at bass. And Jonathan Montez is a piano. And my co-writer, Michael Angel Alvarado, is from San Jose.
Okay.
So me and him been writing when he was in the Bay Area, San Jose. Then he moved to LA.
Okay.
So I had to go out there, and I've been working. We've been writing for like 10 years.
Oh, nice.
Together. So we had a collected songs, like 40 songs. So I said, I'm just going to pick the best 10. So we started working on those. So we end up like 7 songs on the CD, and 3 are other people's tunes that I did.
Cover tracks.
Yeah, cover tracks. But it's called The J. That's what they call it.
What's the name of the CD?
The J.
All right, that's fly,
initial,
man.
That's my initial.
I like that. The J.
I like that. In his house.
Right. I like that. Okay, I got a question for you, man. And this has to be somewhat difficult, but how do you narrow down out of 40 songs, 10? Because you think all of them hits.
No.
Really?
Oh, heck no.
You got to. You put your blood, sweat, and tears in that. That's
you. It don't matter. Some didn't turn out good. Okay. Like, did we write that one? We need to dump that one. So, and that's why Prince had so many songs that didn't make it, and he put them in the vote and stuff. And, I used to talk to him about that stuff. He goes, you think all my songs are his? And I'm going, yeah. No. He goes, he just keeps writing and writing.
Right.
And some sections he didn't like, the verses or the bridge, or there's some section he loved, and then he played around it.
Mm-hmm.
So if the hook is jamming, but the verse is not good, he'll keep that part. So I remember him telling me that, because one time he came to Oakland, and I was working on songs, and I go, Prince, I got a bunch of songs. I said, I just want to hear you. I want your input. I want you to hear a couple of these songs. He goes, man, it doesn't matter what I think; it's what you think, right? He says, so if I can like it, doesn't mean you're gonna. I have to. He said, you're the one that have to play it. You're gonna have to be on stage, right? So he said, play what you like, that you know that you will love, because that's what the audience is gonna feel. If I don't like the tune, Prince likes it. What does that do for me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing tunes I like. Because
Right.
Prince like it, I'm going by what he says. It shouldn't be like that. He said, play songs that you love and know that you have fun on. So when you perform it live, then that means they're going to feel off of you. If you're faking it,
Right.
there's songs,
Yeah.
that we play.
Yeah.
You know that.
That's right.
And
That's
it's
right.
like, I ain't feeling this song.
Right.
And you don't play your heart out.
Right.
So he said, you have to have songs that
You can't fool the
love.
audience. Yeah.
You can't fool the people.
Yeah.
And why fool yourself?
Right.
And so I make sure every song that I picked,
Right.
like you're asking about those 10, I love them. Like I could see
Genuinely.
I really love them.
Right.
And like I said, there's some I didn't like, and I'm like, I wouldn't play that on stage. I wouldn't,
Right.
I'm not feeling that song. But you continually writing songs, you don't stop.
Right.
And the ones like that I feel that fits the CD. That was another thing. This is like my third time trying to do a solo project. The first one, I was really into funk. It was too funky.
Right.
And then I was really into Latin. It was too Latin. And so I put it all together. I mixed it up. You hear
So it's like Latin funk.
it's Latin funk. It's
The
nice.
J.
It's
Y'all
not
heard
too
it.
much of each. It's right. It's blending in like
Right.
gumbo.
So would you say like one of the biggest things that you kind of picked up from Prince was what you just said? Was that one of the biggest things that you learned from him?
That was very important to me. Yeah. That was. I took that seriously, and I thought about it because, you always want people that made it have gold, platinum
Right.
albums.
Right.
Do you like the song? Right? Because you
Right.
think they would know.
Right.
And people would probably say, fix this or that's great or whatever. But when he said, you got to love it, I said that, I had slept on that and thought about it.
Right.
It made sense. Yeah, that was a big, important part of what driven me to go the way I did with this CD. Because he's right. Because if, when I was playing with Patti LaBelle, there's some songs like that I love. But for me to play, it wasn't fun. But I loved the song.
Right.
So, and then there were songs that she was playing, well, I really could dig in on them congas because the rhythm,
Right.
those are ones I should have on my CD, the ones I can dig in and enjoy, right?
Got it.
Yeah, even though it's a great song, it's not fun for me to play it. So I picked the songs that it's fun for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what I liked about what you're talking about now is I love how you transition because you learn before you put your own CD together.
Right.
You learn from
Right.
other people,
Exactly.
projects. You learn how to, not just how to play, but you learn what works, what don't work,
What doesn't work.
what you're feeling, what you're not feeling.
Yeah. And
And-
that's input from my family too. Like
Right.
when I was writing, I'll bring it home to my father because they're all in LA but me. So when I was in LA writing the songs, I had my father listen to it and he'll tell me the truth. Like the lyrics are not good or the verse is good or the bridge is good, but the intro needs help or the ending. So I go and work on it, and same with my sister, she'll listen to the song. She goes, God, that's amazing. You wrote that? I'm like, yeah, me and Michael Angel, you know? So, and my brother,
Right.
he said, I think it needs a little bit of this. So we all, what's so helpful is not just their input, but we all kind of think alike. We're in the same household. We play together.
I get that.
So that's like, there's 4 of me doing this CD, not
Right.
just myself. Yeah.
That makes sense. So you don't have this like Well, you know, that is my brother. Let me go on and tell him it sounds good.
Oh, no, we don't talk like that.
We don't. That's not a part of that.
That ain't going to help us at all.
You can't grow like that.
Cannot grow.
Makes sense.
Yeah, criticism is good as long as it's going to help.
Right.
If you say, man, that's a terrible song, you just dump it. You know, yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Right.
Or you can tell me what's good in that song.
Right.
And maybe I can work around that and keep it.
Right.
So that's how, because we're all helping each other. Like, I could tell Sheila, you know, there's some things she do on her show. We tell her that's not happening.
Really?
And she'll think about it. She go, maybe I should take it out. Yeah. I mean, we're that close. We could talk about, because that's all we did our whole life is talk about music and, of course, family, and we love each other, so we respect each other.
Right.
So if you respect each other, and then their opinion matters, why not take it in and use it to your advantage?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Especially when you talked about the love, and you talk about like, especially how you grew up together.
Right.
That's important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because that's something. That's a bond.
It is a bond.
You know, when you sit around with your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, and everybody sitting around, and then 30 years later, it's like, you can't replace that. Not like that.
We call each other every day, almost. See? I just talked to my parents before I came in here.
Really?
I was in the car talking to my mother and my father. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
We're just close. Have a good show, have fun, enjoy yourself. Like, we encourage each other all the time.
Right. I love it. You know what? I feel like I'm part of y'all's family too. Every time I see
you in?
I'm in. See, I like that. You know, I see y'all over at the NAMM show. We have so much fun over there.
The NAMM was happening.
NAMM was happening every year. Do you go every year, or you just kind of?
I did in the beginning, and then, you know, work. You know, sometimes we had a concerts or something out of town, but I try to make it there because I just love the music and meeting new artists that's coming up and getting endorsed. Like, we have our E-Family series, congas, timbales, drums, and DW is now using the E-Family series. So we have our own percussion line too. You can go online and look it up.
Right. Yeah. DW. I love DW.
I was tripping when I'm like, we got our own line.
Yeah.
Because I used to.
That's big, man.
Man, borrow people's stuff and then buy stuff. It's like an LP, like Latin percussion, like the biggest percussion line ever. And now it has an E on it. So E-Family series on LP drums.
Right.
Yeah. That's a dream come true. Yeah.
Speaking of like the whole family, I mean, like, has it been passed down at all? Like, are there grandkids? What's the downline like?
Oh, yeah. My son's a rapper.
Okay.
J.A.I. the Prophet.
J.A.I. the Prophet.
He has rap CDs out. He I don't know. He's got 4 or 5, and he's done a bunch of videos and stuff.
Right.
So he's out there doing it. He's always in Japan, Europe, and
touring.
Now. And then on my brother's side, all his kids pretty much musical inclined. They're engineers. They're behind the scene too.
Oh, okay.
They do video. They did my father's video. My brother and his sons, my nephews, and they also did some movies and directing, and they're all in it. They're in LA doing their stuff.
So not everybody's on stage singing and dancing and all that.
Sons behind, but they could do that too.
Right.
But they also couldn't be behind the scene, engineering, doing sound, mixing.
Right. Yeah. Oh, wow. Now, is that something they had to go to school for, or is that something that just kind of is in them to do that?
It started with my brother.
Really?
He started them, and he has a studio at his house, and he taught his kids, and they just took it in.
Peter Michael.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah, he produced my CD. It wasn't for him, it wouldn't be that great. I mean, he knows what he's doing. So I'm learning a lot more stuff. Like, you can never not learn. In this industry, there's always new stuff coming up, new equipment, new stuff to make better sound, harmony, keyboards, whatever. There's always something.
There's always something, right? Yeah. It's endless.
Yep.
I believe it too. You know, you never just say, you know, well, I mean, think about this. If Pops is still going, this is 86, right?
86.
Okay, strong.
Yeah. Right,
and
strong.
Yeah, I mean, he tear them timbales up, boy, like it ain't nobody's business.
I know.
I love it.
I know.
His energy is so high. It's so high that I feel like that's what possibly, you know, is keeping him there too. Right. Is that energy, you know, what I mean? Feedback from the crowd, his family, playing with you guys. And
we all get to hang out and have fun, travel. You know, it's just, and when we travel, we're always like, we don't have to have dinner together or breakfast. We can go our own ways, but we choose to.
You choose to.
We call each other, where are you going to eat tomorrow? And,
Right.
and then we talk about the show, how we could fix it,
Right.
things. And it's a good thing. I mean, you can't beat that.
Right. Juan, if people listening right now for this podcast on the KIMBALL HOOKER Show, how can they get a hold of you if they want to, say, hire you, or if they want to, are you on Spotify? Where's your CD going to be when it does come out, the J?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm actually hooked up with this guy, Jerry from Indonesia. He's doing my digital downloading stuff. So that's in the workings right now, in the makings right now. So in about a couple of weeks, I'll know what it's on. He's going to run all that.
Okay.
But the CDs, I'll have them at every concert that I'm playing and stuff.
Okay.
But if you go, on my website,
merch,
Juan Escovedo,
uh-huh.
Website, you can email me at
what is your website?
Juan Escovedo website, I guess.
Okay, so just Google
Juan Escovedo. You find me.
Right.
And then my manager's number and all that stuff, all the information should be on there.
All right. All right.
Or call you.
Call me. You know what I'm saying?
You got my number?
No, I ain't going to give them that number, but I'll give them a number where they can get a hold of you for your services, man.
There you go. Yeah.
Because you everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
You everywhere. You know what I mean? You hard man to get a hold of, and that just tells me that you're professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I play with a lot of different bands and
That's
stuff.
true. How many bands are you in?
6 to 10. I don't know.
Gosh. How you memorize all that stuff, man? You make it look so easy.
It's easy if you enjoy it and you put in the work before you get there. Then it's easy.
Yeah.
It's hard if you don't do your homework and you get there and you're looking around and you're not sure about what's going on.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, when you're at home, that's still time to learn the set.
Right.
Get your paper pad out or computer, whatever. Learn the breaks, the structure of the songs. And then I know already in my head, I already done it 30, 40 times each song.
Right.
So when I sit down and play, it's like I don't have to think as hard.
Right.
Because it's a flow. Because I already practiced it at home.
Right.
So once I learn the songs, I'm good with that band. They keep hiring me. And hopefully they don't change the set list too much because I already know the song.
That too.
And then I go to the next band, next one. And it's just years of playing and people I grew up with and rehearsing. And yeah, so, it becomes easy.
What kind of word would you put out there for, say, the young musicians, that want to get into the business? What would you kind of like, have them look forward to? Let me rephrase that. Things to look out for in the business, in the industry, because it's changed.
It has changed.
From so many years ago to today.
What's changed that I think is great is you can Google anybody. Before, we didn't have phones.
Right.
Or computers.
That's true.
Yeah, we used to have to go and listen to the band down the street.
Right.
In the neighborhood.
You were forced to go get it.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah. But we'd go out to all the concerts, anybody that's playing down the street, rehearsing. There's bands rehearsing almost every block in Oakland.
Right.
So we just go in there and watch, listen, become friends and learn how they play this. But now you can Google any drummer, any musician.
That's true. And
study them and charts. You can learn how to read.
They make you lazy.
Man. But it still takes a lot of time and effort. Knowledge is important about music because you can easily get lost in that group of people. Everybody's hopefully trying to make it. Mm-hmm. And these youngsters coming up, they know the game. They know what they're doing. So like I said, I Google Cuban rhythms and people in Cuba, Africa, drumming. I mean, there's so many drummers that would not ever really maybe be famous, or you get to see them. They can't come over here or whatever, or they don't have a band, but they're playing at home.
Right. And
I'm watching their rhythms. I'm like, man, I'm picking that up. So and then you play with every band that hires you or sit in.
That's true.
You got to keep playing.
You got to keep playing.
And even if you don't like the music or something, you can learn something from every band you rehearse and play with.
That's important that you say that too. I mean, some people think when they see you on stage and they say, wow, he makes it look so easy and it's so fun. Some people say, oh, he's winging it.
Oh no, no, that's years of playing.
See, that's years of playing.
And when I make it look simple, that's what I want.
Right.
I don't want to look like I'm struggling up there.
Right.
No, it's flowing, it's going because I've already did my homework.
You did your homework.
Yeah. So now it should be easy and fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I really wanted you to touch on that because so many people just think it's so easy to get up there and just, you know, kind of mess around, horse around. But really, you paid your price. You paid the dues through so many decades.
Yeah. Years of touring.
Years of touring and playing. And so now, you know, you're at a point now where you're comfortable. Which is the goal.
That's it.
You know, it's supposed to have some fun, you know, the whole, and if it's not, if you're not having fun, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It is wrong. You're supposed to have fun. Music is supposed to be fun.
Right.
Man.
So it's up in your head too.
Yeah.
How you look at it. You know, you could say, you know, 'cause believe it or not, there's times I'm tired. I don't want to be there. Sometimes I'm going through stuff. I'm on the phone dealing with stuff. But as soon as I hang up, I give myself at least an hour to prep in my head before the show, to relax, have fun. This is what I'm born to do. I love it.
Right.
It's going to be, you know, you got to psych yourself up.
Right.
And then mentally, when you're there, then you get on stage, you're ready.
Right.
Right. You got to be ready mentally too.
Right. That's right. Mentally. It's a mental thing too.
It's a mental thing too. And physically, like I run a lot. I jog, I swim, I exercise. So my hands are strong, my shoulders are strong, my back, you know, all that takes a lot when you're playing congas and percussion. You know? Some people get off stage, they sore for 3-4 days, you know. It's like, you're not prepared.
You're not prepared.
No.
You gotta be right. Yeah. You gotta be prepared to do that.
Right.
I remember when we did that show, my show.
Right.
You know, where was we at? Sacramento? I forget where we were.
We did a few shows.
We did a few shows.
Yeah, one was in Sac.
My record release party though.
Right.
Man, I had fun on that one. I turned you loose. I said, wow, let's go.
Oh, don't do that. I'm gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, you was driving that ship, man. I said, where is he going with this?
Right.
But you know what I like the most though is you play with such, you know, taste and class, man. And I love the fact that it's like you know when to do your thing and you know when not to. Right. And that's very important.
Sometimes you got to step back a little bit and let it flow, let it breathe, give the drummer some bass lines, guitar.
Right.
You know, don't do a roll when you know this guitar player about to set up something.
Right.
And I see percussionists doing that.
Why they do that?
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Inexperience?
Yes.
That's what that
is. And they think every 4 bars there's a roll or every 8.
Right. It's like it's needed.
It's not needed. Sometimes just let it breathe, let it go, or let the drummer give a little ta-ta, hi-hat, little pretty little something. Yeah.
Speak on this, please. I'm just gonna set it up and you can take it from there. Can you please talk about overplaying?
Oh man, yeah.
Sometimes less is more.
Yes.
For people that's listening, that can learn something. Speak on that, please.
I'll tell you this: if you have 8 people in the band and they all want to be heard, guess what you're gonna hear? Bunch of noise, right? Listen to the dude next to you. Let him be heard.
Right.
If you're all about yourself, it shows on stage. If you're all about yourself,
right,
you're destroying the band concept. Yeah. You're not playing for a band, you're playing for yourself. So when you're on stage and doing every lick that you rehearsed that morning,
right,
and it doesn't work with the song, you're overplaying.
You're overplaying.
Yeah. Chords are pretty. You know, the piano, the guitar. Like, I want to hear that stuff. So me as a musician and a listener and a fan of all type of music and other musical instruments, I want to hear them.
Right.
So why am I going to step on this stuff or play over that when I love that hook or that melody? I'm not doing that.
Right.
It ain't my time to shine.
It's not your time to shine.
Yeah. And you don't always have to shine.
Right.
You could just blend. Blend is good.
Blend is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes you a complete musician, man. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. The CD that you have out, well, it's coming out. Is there a date that you have?
Well, since I'm doing Yoshi's November 8th, it has to be done by then.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say November. It's really close.
Okay.
Like a week before it's gonna be done.
All right.
And then I have to go get it in LA and stuff. But yeah, so it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be all over. You're gonna be able to download. It's not set up yet, but it's coming.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we just did some Google. We just Googled, and it's juanescovedo.com.
That's it.
Y'all go there.
That's it.
Download, stream, TikTok, all of that. Share it, comment.
That's it.
All of that. Blast it out there. Juan Escovedo is in the house on the KIMBALL HOOKER Show. I've had fun. It's been a blast. Thank you so for showing up.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome.
We got to jam again,
we got to do that, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, this can't be the first and the last, man. We got to do it again. You know what I love the most too, man, is you're so humble. That right there is like, I love that, because I'm going to tell you, not everybody who's a good musician is easy to work with.
That's true.
You know, you can speak on that better than I can.
Yep. There's some, yep.
You know, we don't need to mention no names, but you know, there's people that are really, really good musicians, but they just not.
I don't want to work with them.
Don't want to work with them.
Because they don't, they're not good. I mean, we're raised in different households, so we don't know their background. I don't know what they're going through, this and that, but you know, don't bring it to rehearsal. Don't bring it to the stage.
That attitude.
That attitude is not necessary.
No need for that.
And then you feel, if they're angry and they come on stage, you could feel the anger in their playing.
You can, can't you?
Oh man, yes. If they're angry or if they're hurting, the pain and the guitar playing, like they're going through something, I could feel it.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So they it's a really an emotional playing. Like I've noticed that too. Yeah. When people are angry or if they're sad, maybe they lost a loved one or something like that, you could
feel it on stage.
Especially if you've performed with them before.
That's true. And you know the way they play.
You know the way they play.
And it sounds different. It feels different.
It feels different.
There's something going on. And that's when you talk to him backstage. What's happening? You good?
Right.
You know, you're family. So you should know if he's going through something. Hopefully you're in a band that can relate. Cares. And can relate to and care about your band member.
That's true.
Yeah. And then we support you.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. That's amazing, man. I'm gonna touch on this one little thing, and we're gonna keep it moving. How do you feel about COVID right now, and where does music and COVID stand, in your opinion?
I think that right now the music is needed. I believe that. But I also believe you should still keep your distance, wear your mask, get your shots and stuff. And I understand that some people don't want to get their shots. That's their prerogative. It's up to them. But don't be coming near me and coughing and no mask on, right? If you ain't gonna get a shot, you know you ain't got no shot. Don't be near me.
Right.
I'm good.
Respect your space.
And we could wave.
Right.
I'll show you some love from 10 feet away. I'm good with that. I could wave at you. But now, like when I go to gigs, the first thing I do, I tell homies, man, I'm vaccinated. Are you?
Right.
And when they say, yeah, okay, now we can get a little closer, I can hug you. You know, I feel safe.
Right.
So that's just respecting other people's, because I don't want to catch it or give it to anybody.
Right. Spread it.
Yeah, I don't want to spread it. So, and I'm good. You know, with the indoor stuff now, I see that they're cleaning, keeping everything clean. People washing their hands. People keeping their distance. Yeah.
Keep your hygiene up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm good.
But do you see, in terms of musically, do you see this being something that's gonna, maybe put a damper musically moving forward, or do you think it's something that we can beat this, or we can go around this?
I think we can go around it. I think it's gonna be here for a while.
Really?
I do. I think we're gonna have to have shots once a year. That's what I think, because look, it's getting, there's always going to be diseases out there.
True.
It might not be COVID, but there's going to be something similar to
variants and things like that.
So I just think, if they say take a shot and it's going to protect me and somebody else, I'm going to do it.
Right.
So that's where I stand with it.
You think touring will go back? Like being able to fly and...
Oh, yeah. It's happening now. Okay. But, now you have to show a card that shows you're vaccinated, which is fine with me.
Right.
Because I don't want unvaccinated people giving it to me.
That's true.
Because we could still catch it, but, you have a better chance of not getting it if you have your shots.
We've lost so many people.
Oh, yes.
Just for COVID. Tony, he just passed.
Yes. Yeah.
And so many others.
Yeah. That played with Malo, conga player.
Right.
Yeah, just 2 days ago. So,
right. So it's
Yeah,
real.
It's real.
Everybody's listening. It's real.
Mhm.
Okay. Juan Escovedo, my friend, my musician, buddy, my partner, my compadre.
That's it.
Man, it's good having you on the KIMBALL HOOKER Show. Thank you for coming by.
My pleasure.
We might even have to do a part 2 on this, man, because there's some things I wanted to touch on. But yeah, like I said, your history is long.
Yeah, it is.
And
I'm 62. Shoot, I better
Stop it. What?
6'2", my brother.
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
You look good, man.
Thank you.
You look good. You make it look good. You wear it well.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pops is what?
86.
Wow. And he's doing it strong.
Sheila's older than me. Sheila, if I'm 62, she's 63.
She gonna get you for that.
I know. It's all good.
Wow. Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you so much
Okay.
for having us, for coming on and blessing our show with your talent, your gift, and your family. God bless you. For
Thank you, man.
your,
God
your,
bless
your
you.
mom and pops. Give them long life and longevity. And we love you, man.
Love you too.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
KIMBALL
Till
Hooker.
next one.
Yes. KIMBALL HOOKER Show, and we're out.
You just heard the KIMBALL HOOKER Show here on KCAT Radio. Explore all our KCAT original programming at kcat.org/radio. Explore all our